Hey everybody, it's Colin Nitro from Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel. Joining me on the other end of the line from the House of Moore, it is Moorhouse.
Yo,
How is your house? Is it warm?
it is. It's actually pretty warm. Yeah, I should turn that temperature down.
The House of Moore has a big heating bill. Anyway, Survivor Series goes tomorrow on the WWE Network pay-per-view, and I guess do people still use the dish descramblers, the big C brand dish from like the 1980s, the giant, huge ones?
I think a few at least do in the farm. I remember watching Halloween Havoc '98 without paying for it. You just got the audio.
Oh, okay. So it's like radio, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I used to do the same thing back in the day too, because they would scramble the pay-per-view, obviously. But
Just a picture, yeah.
But the audio would come in fine. So I had a TV that had a feature where you could cut the picture and just have the audio. So then it was just like listening to the radio. It was fine.
Yeah.
You know? And so it was just feeder of mind, you picturing what was going on and that stuff. So at least you were caught up on it, the storylines. And then Monday for Raw or Nitro or whatever it was, you'd watch and you'd see the still frames from the pay-per-view and you'd put two and two together. And it was like, awesome. And then Halloween Havoc '98 happened, and then you actually got to see Goldberg TDP. And it was like, hey, cool. Now they're showing full matches from the night before on this show. That's great. So
yeah, that was a poor kid watching pay-per-views.
Yeah, exactly. So these are our half-hearted, half-assed predictions for Survivor Series 2018, mainly because Ken doesn't watch the WWE product currently, and I kind of half-ass watched the WWE product currently. So please take these predictions with a grain of salt and do not make any monetary bets with them, because they are 100% guaranteed to be false. Anyway, there we go.
They're actually the best predictions you'll ever hear.
Yeah, take them completely to the bank. Go to like your local casino and put money down. Big time.
Kellen's known as the Jimmy the Greek of Edmonton.
Jimmy the what? Anyway.
He's too young to know the reference.
I thought you were referring to somebody else, somebody we don't speak of. But anyways.
No, Jimmy the Greek is a bookie in Vegas.
Mm. Oh yeah, he was the old NFL guy.
Yeah.
Way back when, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I remember. I remember watching a 30 for 30 about him way back when. I think they still they probably still talk about it at times and that stuff and everything. So, while I scramble to get the card up on my phone, because that's what I'm going to be using to.
Well, why don't I throw the first match in?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. We have pre-show match. Everyone loves pre-show matches. And what other pre-show match could we have other than the Cruiserweight match between Buddy Murphy and Ali?
Well, I'll be missing that one because apparently the venue that I'm going to does not show the pre-show.
Oh.
I found that out after booking my table at the venue. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I'm just better off staying at home watching it. All right, well, that's interesting. But, okay, so we have who? Ali and
Murphy. Yeah.
Well, they've been talking about putting the belt on Ali for a while, so I'll say Ali gets the win here. Sure. I'll say we got a new Cruiserweight champion.
I agree with that. I'm not familiar with the storylines of the 205 Live, but I know Ali's been booked in title matches on major cards before, but he hasn't won them yet.
Right. Yeah. No, it's one of those things where it's very interesting watching that show from time to time to see what's going on. I know that they are trying to make Mike Kanellis a heel contender for 2019 for the Cruiserweight title. So he's probably poised for a Cruiserweight title shot. I think just the allure of having Mike and Maria as the number one power couple on that show is, well, wrestling loves power couples, so there you go.
Yeah, they're the most amazing love story of our lives.
So yeah, so I'm thinking that might actually even be saved for Mania. So yeah, maybe have Mustafa get the belt here, and then he holds it right on to Mania, and then he drops it to Mike and Maria.
Yep, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
The next dark match we have is the tag team cluster F match between Team Raw and Team SmackDown.
Okay.
So it's all the non-tag team title contenders on Raw versus the SmackDown ones.
So this is so this is the 5-on-5. So this is like the Usos, Good Brothers, all that versus B Team and
Lucha House Party and
Lucha House Party. Yeah.
Ascension's involved.
Okay. And I think Rude and Gable are the captains on the Raw team. So
and the Usos on the SmackDown.
SmackDown team. I think it'll be between those two teams. I think that's what they're probably been lining up for and that stuff. And I think I'll give it to Rude and Gable for that one. Yeah, okay. Why not? Because I think a win over a credible tag team like the Usos will kind of elevate them a little bit on Raw. And they seem to be kind of elevating towards that Raw tag team title spot anyway. So.
Yeah, it's sad that they don't really have a gimmick or anything. They're just Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
They're glorious.
Glorious. Yeah, that's about it. There's the Raw tag team division is so sad compared to the SmackDown one.
The fans were calling them Glorious Alpha for the longest time, but I don't know if that was an official name or what. But
okay,
Glorious Alpha. So, all right,
sure, go for it.
What we got next? What's happening next here?
We got another tag team match: AOP versus The Bar.
AOP versus The Bar. So this is the tag team champions from both shows going at it. I think because they're going to be establishing AOP as kind of be-all, end-all juggernaut once again. They're trying to basically make them NXT AOP all over again, except swap out Paul Ellering, put in Drake Maverick. So AOP probably, and if they want to be really bold, make it handily over Cesaro and Sheamus. But I think that they'll probably get an easy 10 minutes out of both of them. So
yeah, it's the opening contest. It's going to go at least 10 minutes. AOP Bar, it's going to be a very, very stiff match. I'd like to see that match, though. I think it'd be a good contest.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
For sure. So, okay. What's next?
We got the Raw ladies versus the SmackDown ladies.
So this was the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match and that stuff. Do we know who's replacing Charlotte Flair on the SmackDown side yet? Do they have a vacant spot?
It's listed as to be determined. I'm thinking it could be Sanity, Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross, I think, would probably be that person because of Sanity's involvement, obviously, in the tag match earlier on in the card. So, yeah, what better way to launch somebody than to have Nikki Cross left on her as a sole survivor on that side versus whoever Raw's got, whoever Raw's is leading.
Raw is Mickey, Nia, Tamina, Natalia, and Ruby.
Yeah, so it's all heels with the exception of Natty. So I could see it being easily Natty and Nikki Cross 1-on-1 at the end there, and then Nikki beating Natty. So that's my prediction. I think that's what they're going to do. So
I have a bonus prediction on that.
All right.
I agree with you. I could see Nikki coming out at the end.
Yeah.
But I also see Asuka getting Asuka getting upset at Nikki for winning it and then just turning heel on Nikki.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Since they have had good matches in NXT before.
And Asuka could say this whole thing where since WrestleMania she's been looked over and had to do stupid things like team with Naomi and blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Yep. All right, I see that. I smell what you're cooking. Sure.
Next, we got Team Raw men versus Team SmackDown men.
Okay. So this is the 5-on-5 Classic Survivor Series bout.
So this is Raw's Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman, Balor, and Lashley versus SmackDown's Miz, Shane O'Mac, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy.
Now, these matches are typically a mixture of action inside the ring, and then there's some comedy spots. There's a oh my god, what the hell is going on type spot somewhere along the line. So Jeff is going to jump off something very, very high, and then we get down to sole survivor on each side. So there is talk that they might use this card as a catalyst for Shane McMahon to turn heel on SmackDown and become a heel figure. I think easiest way for that to happen is to have him involved maybe at the final decision at the bell, and Strowman's in this match, right?
Yeah, Strowman's in.
I could see Strowman easily being the sole survivor off the Raw side for this, and SmackDown losing because of some sort of miscommunication between Shane and, I don't know, maybe Jeff Hardy or something. Who knows?
I think The Miz is going to have a face turn here soon.
Yeah.
So I can see McMahon and The Miz starting to do a code change.
Scratch that then. We'll scratch Hardy. We'll throw Miz in there instead. So yeah. So I think something will happen that they'll have a 2-on-1 advantage, and then it'll quickly degenerate into nothing because Miz and Shane will have some sort of.
Maybe Miz has the opportunity to go for a pin, and then Shane's like, "No, give me the pin, and then he messes it up. Yeah.
Have just 2 egomaniacs on there just trying to. Yeah, that'd be good.
And then you can have the Miz work the storyline. That was my best in the world, and you took it from me.
Yeah. So I think all we got left now are the 2 singles matches, right?
We got 3 single matches.
3 single matches. Oh my goodness! All right.
So we have the Brock Lesnar for with the Universal Championship, which means nothing, versus Daniel Bryan.
See, I thought this one would be main event, but that's it depends. They might have that one go last, but
yeah.
So, but I don't see Brock losing this one. Now,
no,
I don't see Brock losing this one. I think with AJ as a champion before, I think there was probably the leniency to have Brock lose because you'd have AJ second time around maybe beating him.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I don't see. I think AJ is going to come out and cost Bryan the match. I think it's going to be as pure simple as that. I think AJ will run out and cost Bryan this match.
I think it will be a no finish.
Double DQ.
Double DQ with AJ interfering.
Maybe AJ just goes nuts. Who knows?
Yeah, because I'm gonna bet on AJ winning the Rumble this year, and going to Raw.
Oh wow, a complete brand switch for him.
And then challenging Brock. Yeah.
Ooh, maybe that might be a thing. So that could happen.
That's my prediction. That's my long-term prediction.
Long-term prediction. Okay. What's left? We got 2 more after that, right? We
got the Architect versus Dick Kick City.
Okay, yes. So the U.S. champion Nakamura, the Intercontinental champion Rollins. I think Nakamura is going to win that one because something's going to happen between Rollins and Ambrose.
Oh yeah, Ambrose is not booked, so he's definitely going to do something.
Yeah, neither is AJ now on this card. So I mean,
and Orton's not booked either.
So there we go. So this is Vince Russo, Mr. Russo's on the line here with some ideas. He's got all these people not booked. So, Nakamura is going to win that one via the cowardly heel getting the pinfall after interference.
But Randy Orton's rule: if he's not booked, he won't go. I mean, that's the old Dennis Stamp rule that he lives by.
I'm not booked.
I'm not booked. Terry, I'm not booked. Yeah.
I'm not booked, Terry. Terry, I'm not booked.
Yeah. Got to keep him fit. You never know. I had my last match in '92, and you never know when that phone's going to ring again.
Right. Okay, and then our last... Oh, no, what's your prediction off that one?
I think Rollins costs Nakamura. Rollins gets a DQ win.
Oh, okay. That's a different way. That's kind of backwards. And then I guess the last one is Charlotte and Ronda, right? For the title of who is the femme fatale in WWE now at this point.
The baddest woman on the planet versus the Nature Girl.
See, the whole thing that's been overlooked in this, I'll say it right now, the whole thing that was overlooked in this whole Becky Lynch thing and what happened with her this week and that stuff is she was probably going to be cannon fodder for Ronda this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's saying, oh, this would have been a great match for Becky and that stuff, and you name it. I think probably 90% consensus is she was booked to lose. for that one.
Yeah.
She'd go in and Ronda was going to beat her.
Yeah, you had Becky. One of the things about wrestling is the TV show before the pay-per-view, most often than not, the person who's going to lose the pay-per-view gets the win on the event beforehand.
Yep. To make the babyface look strong, in their fight, right? So it's a classic wrestling trope. And so that was thing. But now with Charlotte being included in there, then you got your wild card here. Mm-hmm. So I think that this match will be thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this will be the I think that something will happen in the match where not even a double DQ or a double count out. I think something will happen where they'll announce that both competitors cannot continue. Either it's going to be a spot where somebody goes, or they both go through a table, or something, or maybe they lock each other into a submission hold, or like a mutual submission hold where both of them are tapping out at the same time or something. Because there's alignments in shoot wrestling that you can do that, right? So I have a prediction for a finish I haven't seen before, but I think it would be amazing to see. Go for it.
Double submission.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is that would lead to a no contest. Double submission, no contest. Yep.
Yeah, they both tap out at the same time.
Yep. Maybe Charlotte goes for a figure eight or something like that, and
while she's in an armbar.
Yeah, or Ronda turns herself around and grabs and puts like a crossface on her or something. Who knows?
Yeah, and they both tap due to pain.
Because Ronda has the know-how to do that type of stuff, and so it wouldn't surprise me that they've been practicing here, since the announcement of the match, what they're going to do and everything. And the fact of the matter is, I guess she goes down to the Performance Center every week for a couple of days. No matter what she's doing, and that's to sharpen her skills and everything, and you name it, right? So
Ronda's a hard worker. She's definitely putting in. She doesn't have the experience, but she's definitely trying to get as much as she can, and it's really showing.
So, but I think that if I'll do two predictions here, and that's the one that I would love to see happen is what I just talked about. But realistically, I think Ronda's probably going to win this one.
Yeah,
because they'll just stick with the original plan anyway, because they've essentially flip-flopped now what's going to happen between Survivor Series and Mania. So now they flip-flopped it to, okay, Ronda, Becky going to be at Mania now, so let's do Charlotte and Ronda here. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I'm going with my double submission just because I'd love to see that, and I think it would push both girls up higher.
Oh, good. It could, It also depends too if Becky gets, if she's close to, she shows up anyway to the card here this weekend. She gets checked out and the concussion is fine. That maybe she runs out and costs the match and beats up on both of them.
Yep. Steel chairs and then beer cans and. She'll just be a Stone Cold gimmick now.
Stone Cold. Well, I mean, the whole thing was everybody was asking, how do we get her heel? How do we get her heel? And it's like, well, she's Irish. Just have her rip up a picture of the Pope on national television.
Oh.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
It worked for Sinead O'Connor. I mean, really.
You're suggesting she has a Sinead O'Connor gimmick?
Why not?
It's definitely a gimmick that hasn't been tried yet.
We have a guy in NXT thinking he's Prince, so why not?
Well, why don't we we'll just do enough music gimmicks where we can just have Blues-a-mania.
In Memphis, brother.
Yeah.
And Hulk Hogan can walk out as Mr. Flamingo or Mr. Fantastic or whatever it was. The Japanese version of him in the video game from way back when. I can't remember.
Yeah, you can change Sanity into the Beatles.
Well,
give them all Beatles haircuts.
Let's not go that far. Put the Shield back together and have Rollins and Ambrose, just cut their hair short like Metallica.
Yep.
They are Metallica at this point.
Yeah,
But they're not the good Metallica. They're the mid '90s Metallica that was releasing like Load, Reload,
playing some new metal stuff for you.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, you can have you can do a lot. Drew McIntyre could be the new Scott Stapp. This is why Kellen's not in charge of creative over at the Towers.
And this is also why we'd never do prediction videos for this channel at all. But there we go. But anyways, those are our predictions. Please take them with a grain of salt. Let's just hope for a good card tomorrow and some fun afterwards. So I'm Kellen Nitro. He's been Moorhouse. You can reach him on Twitter at House of Moore. And you can reach me on Twitter at Kellen Nitro. And discuss, like, dislike, share this video, laugh at us, make fun of us. It's all good. Feedback is fine. And he didn't see it, but my hands were going all over the place here. Whoa. So, later days, happy wrestling watching. We'll talk to you next time.